everybody, it's great to see you. Welcome back to another great episode. Now today we've got Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Today's Valentine's Day, February 14th. So love to everybody. Hope everybody has a great day. So whether you're celebrating it alone or with someone else, make it a great day. So what we're gonna do today, because today is it should be National Chocolate Day, right? Because it's Valentine's Day. So you might be trying to watch your sugar intake, maybe watch what you're eating, trying to eat a little bit healthier. So today I'm gonna make you a wonderful, wonderful recipe that you swear the ingredients that are in it, you wouldn't even suspect that they would be in it. So today is some healthy and fit chocolate brownies. Now we all love brownies. We all love the chocolatey sweet goodness that we just know that it's bad for us, right? Well, most of the ingredients today are just natural, wonderful ingredients that we all have in our pantry that we can just dig out and make this wonderful brownie mix. Now, there's no flour in this. There's no added sugar in this. It's just a lot of great ingredients. So let's get started. We're not going to be using a mixer today. We're going to be using a blender. Okay, now if you don't have a blender, you can use a food processor or something like that, but definitely either a blender or food processor would work for this, okay? So first off, we're gonna start with some black beans. Now, this black bean can is a little bit bigger than some of my other black beans that I have. This is, I think, 19 and 3/4 ounces, so 1 pound, 3.7 ounces. So if you have a black bean can that's a little bit smaller, I think they're 15 ounces, I can't remember exactly. Definitely you can use that. So what I've gone ahead and done, I've opened these up and I've rinsed them. Now you want to make sure that you have a good colander and you just rinse them. And I've rinsed them out in some nice cold water and I've had them sitting in my sink, in my side bay of my sink. So rinsed and drain is what you want, and spend some time and make sure that they're good and rinsed. That's what you want. You want them just completely rid of all of the liquid that came in it, kind of the filmy liquid that's in it, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and dump these into our blender. I'm gonna use the whole can. And if your can, like I said, is a little bit smaller, then that's completely fine. Just use what you've got, okay? So to that, I'm going to add some dates. Now, if you don't have any dates, but you have some raisins, you could use raisins as well, okay? So finely chop those. If you wanna give them a soak ahead of time to really soften them up, go for it. These were already pitted and in a bag, and so I took them out. I did not soak these ahead of time today. If they're a little bit harder, definitely soak them, but these were nice and soft. So I got a good cup of dates and I finely chopped those as fine as I could with my regular kitchen knife, okay? So you want to make sure that they are chopped as finely as you can. Now they're kind of gummy, so it might be a little hard, so do your best, okay? So far we've got the black beans and the dates. So this is gonna be the body of your brownies, okay? So now we have to add a few more ingredients to kind of bind it together and make it rise, okay? So we don't have any flour or any of the white sugar or anything like that, but we are gonna add a couple of eggs. So 2 large eggs to this is, now if you don't want to add eggs, if you'd rather not, you could use applesauce to this, and you could use probably like a half a cup of applesauce if you wanted to, but I go ahead and just add the eggs. So if you're not opposed to using eggs, please use eggs in this batch, just so that everything comes out perfect. Okay, so we've got the eggs in there. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a few more of liquid ingredients that are really gonna make it pop. Now we're going to add olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and you're gonna wanna add 2 tablespoons of olive oil to this mixture. So I've got a 2 tablespoon measuring spoon here, and so I'm gonna just add 2 tablespoons of the extra virgin olive oil, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we are gonna go ahead and add some apple cider vinegar to this. And we're gonna add a half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar to that mixture. Smells good, actually. Smells really good. All right, so now we're gonna add in some of the dry ingredients here. Now this, I've got kind of a mixture here. I've got some sea salt and I've got some baking powder. okay? So the sea salt is a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, and then a full teaspoon of the baking soda, not baking powder. Almost made a mistake there, guys. Baking soda, all right? So baking soda and your sea salt, all right? So then to that, so far, we're not gonna pre-mix any of this. That's the great thing about it, is you just throw it all in the blender and you let it go. That's just like perfect for me, okay? So we've got all of those ingredients. We're gonna add just a couple of more things. All right, now I am going to add some sugar substitute. Now, if you don't wanna use this step, if you would like to skip it, you can, and add honey. You could add honey as a sweetener. The dates have some sweetener, like kind of natural sugars in it, but you do need just a hair more, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add 1/3 of a cup of the sweetener. Now you can reduce that if you want to, if you don't want them quite as sweet, but I like them to be as original, like tasting as brownies as possible. So 1/3 cup of the sweetener is gonna go in there. And like I said, you can substitute that with honey if you wanted to. Okay, it's totally up to you. All right, so next is the cocoa powder. Now, you can use whatever cocoa powder you've got. If you've got some dark cocoa powder that is like the Ghirardelli's, or you know, like your name brand, either your Publix or your Hannaford or your Costco or whatever you've got, you can use it. I just go for the Hershey's because love Hershey's. All right, so you're gonna add 3 good sized tablespoons of this. Now this is 1 tablespoon and I've kind of heaped this, okay? So I'm gonna take 3 of these and I'm gonna put those right in there. All right, so 3 tablespoons. Now, we've only got a couple of ingredients left. This is going together pretty quick, and I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon and chocolate bind each other very well, and they complement each other. So throw a dash of cinnamon in when you're making a chocolate dish. It just enhances it really well. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. So I've got my homemade vanilla right here, and I'm gonna add 2 plus a little bit because I love vanilla. All right, so we've got all our ingredients in here. We're gonna simply put on the top of the blender and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna blend that. Now I'm gonna put it over here. I put it on my shake mix setting, if you have a shake mix setting, because it grinds it and then it pulses it and it kind of helps everything incorporate. You may have to add just a hair bit of water, maybe a tablespoon of water at the most. So you're gonna gauge it. It's gonna be thick. You want it to be nice and thick, just like a brownie batter. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pulse this a few times, and then when we come back, you'll see it all mixed together. I'm gonna hit that one more time because it looks like it is pretty well incorporated. It looks pretty smooth. So if you see any big lumps in there, I haven't added any water to this, okay? So if you find that your mixture is too thick, like I said, add a tablespoon or maybe a couple of teaspoons to start. A teaspoon of water and then another teaspoon. So this is actually mixing up very, very well. I think it depends on, you know, how much oil put in or vice versa as far as all the ingredients that you put in. The vanilla helps, all those liquidy ingredients definitely help. So I'm gonna give this one last mix. Now I've got a Pyrex dish. This doesn't make a huge amount of brownies, so if you wanted to double or triple the recipe, you definitely could. This one here is a 8 by 6 by 2. So 8 by 6 is what it's gonna make. So I'm gonna go ahead and this is, I think, its last mix. Yep. All right, perfect. It smells wonderful, by the way. It smells just like brownie mix. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna spray my Pyrex dish. I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees. So you wanna do that, do that right at the beginning before you even start blending any of this stuff, okay? So preheat that to 350 degrees. And then all we're gonna do is we're gonna dump this mix out. Doesn't that look like brownie mix, folks? And the the baking soda and the vinegar, do a little science experiment. You know, have you ever done that science experiment where you do the volcano with the baking soda and the vinegar and it goes everywhere? Yeah. Well, that's what this is doing in your brownie mix. All right. So you just make sure you scrape that out. You can even lick the bowl if you want. It tastes pretty good. All right. So like I said, if you are trying to watch your sugar intake, kind of eat a little bit healthier, this is just a great recipe to do anyway. Now, for just a little bit of a treat, you want to get some dark chocolate or semi-sweet chocolate chips, just because the milk chocolate has a lot of sugar in it. And you're going to get about 3 tablespoons or so of chocolate chips, 2 or 3 tablespoons. And you're just going to sprinkle those along the top. I have about 2 tablespoons right there. And then you just kind of put them in just a little bit. Just kind of dab it in, just so that they get a little bit of that batter kind of incorporated in them. Now you're going to pop this into the 350-degree oven, and you're going to let this cook for about 30-35 minutes until your cake tester comes out clean. You're going to cook it just like regular brownies. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw these in the oven, then we'll be right back with the end result. Hey everybody, it's been 35 minutes and this just came out of the oven. Now I tested it with a knife, came out clean, so I knew it was done. I checked it at the 30-minute mark, right around there, and it needed just a couple of more minutes. So based on your own oven and your own, you know, the way that everything cooks, everything's different, right? So I checked it at the 30-minute mark. It needed just a little bit more, so 35 minutes was perfect. So I know they're super hot, but I want you to see the inside of this. Now this is just, now my husband has had these and he loves them. Loves them. So they're great for kids. They're great for you, anybody. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dig into one of these. They are so super hot, you guys. So sometimes you may want to let them sit a little more. I'm kind of impatient when it comes to this kind of stuff. I just want to dive in, especially if you had some ice cream and you wanted to just like really get in and just get going on these. There you are, right there. These are so good. Now these are more light and fluffy. They're more on the cake side, but you can see right in there, you can see like the chocolate chips on the top, but they are just so good and chocolatey. And you would never guess that there's no flour in this, and it's made with dates, and it's made with beans. I gave one of these to my granddaughter yesterday. I was like, hey, try this new brownie I just made. She's like, it's so good. So you can fool the kiddos with this too. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That little red button right down there, just go ahead and click subscribe, and you can clue in on and be alerted anytime that I make a new video or post something new. Also, don't forget, hop on over to my website, deezpantrycooking.com. Over there, you can get cookbook, you can get mixes and all kinds of stuff. It's a great resource for anybody. So go over there and just browse around. All right. And if you have any questions, don't forget to contact me. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hope you enjoy the day. Make some of these for your family or for your loved one. And you can indulge yourself because they're good for you. Great source of fiber and everything. So don't forget, whatever you do, you make it with love. We'll see you next time.